Okay, so another episode of the 2K 20% tutorial. This one's on the airwalk. And this is really going to be a continuation from last episode because the airwalk is linked to the ledge warp. So I'll be assuming that you already know what a ledge warp is and that you know how to do it. If you don't, then you can find out about that in the previous episode. Anyway, so an airwalk, essentially, all you do to get into an airwalk is ledge warp to the beam that you're already on. Okay, so I'll show this here. So I'm gonna get ledge storage right here on this beam, and then I'm gonna do a ledge warp from this same beam. And as you can see, the prince didn't warp anywhere, and if I press D now, he's gonna start walking to the right, and I get into an airwalk. So thing to be noted, if you cannot do a ledge warp from a particular beam or from one side of a beam, then you also cannot do an airwalk from that beam or that side of the beam. However, just because you can do a ledge warp doesn't necessarily mean that you can also do an airwalk. Now that's because what I said earlier about an airwalk being a ledge warp to the same beam, now that's true, you do ledge warp to the same beam and that gives you an airwalk. However, that only works when you get ledge storage on a very specific part of the beam, and where exactly this part is varies from beam to beam. This is literally different for every beam. Every airwalk is different. And some beams just don't have a part where you can get ledge storage and where you can get into an airwalk. So on this particular beam, I've already shown that hanging off the very end and getting ledge storage here produces an airwalk. However, I didn't show what happens when you hang from a different part of the beam. So we'll see that there will be no airwalk when I hang from a different part of the beam, because with this particular beam, the airwalk only works when you hang from right there. That's the part where you need to get ledge storage. And it's not really clear why it works like that, but that's how it works. And I think to be noted, the airwalk doesn't have to be on the same side of the beam as where you gain ledge storage. So for example, I can do this. I can get ledge storage on the left side and then do an airwalk on the right side. Like that. And in some cases, it's even the case that getting ledge storage on one side lets you do an airwalk, but on the other side doesn't let you do an airwalk, even if you try to airwalk from the same side. So it's all a bit complicated, and the main message to get across here is that every beam is different and every airwalk in the game works differently, and you just need to play around with them. So just like ledge warping, airwalking works on both types of beam. So I've already shown an airwalk from a beam where the prince fully hangs down with just his hands. This is the type of beam where the prince has still kind of got his legs on the wall. And just to show it off, you can still airwalk from this, and this is actually better because it's much faster than the other one. And anyway, once you're done going wherever you want to go, you can stand up, and then you're in the same situation as you would be after doing a ledge warp. You can jump in 4 different directions, forward, back, left, and right. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, in this case, I of course jumped at an angle, but that was because of auto aim. I actually jumped forward But yeah, that's about it for airwalking. Once you know how ledge warping works, there's not that much to airwalking. And yeah, that concludes the airwalk episode.